The Glossop line is one of the few train sim world lines that I have visited in real life. Being that it's Christmas soon and that this line means a lot to one of my close friends, I've decided to have a look at the Glossop line route for Train Sim World and see how it holds up today. Glossop line was released on the 27th of June of 2023 during the Train Sim World free era, and as of today costs £19.99 on Steam. During a time where routes cost up to $29.99 and even $32.99, the lower price here seems far too good to be true. Even I was surprised at the time. Though with the nature of this DLC, it does make sense. The line runs for 14 miles from Manchester Piccadilly up to both Hadfield and Glossop, and it's a complete end-to-end route, meaning you can drive the full thing without needing to let the AI take over at a station. It is definitely on the shorter side, but at the price, I think it's more than fair. However, the lack of a long sight TMD is a little disappointing, considering that's where the Class 323s are also stabled. The route itself is also nicely detailed and has good scenery. Definitely a highlight of the route if you ask me, especially the viaduct near Dinting. Most of the stations are also well modelled and have some character. Dinton and Guy Bridge are easily my favourite stations on the route, and Ardwick stands out for being an oddity where barely any trains serve it and the station itself looks half abandoned. That being said, it's not all perfect. There's nothing too noticeable or bad, but spots like this, where there's a lack of vegetation or traffic, does need a little bit of work. Again, it's not game breaking, but you can see it. There are also two stations that I need to address. Hyde North looks fine until you notice that it doesn't have a station exit at all. And while Manchester Piccadilly looks good for the most part, there's no concourse modelled at all, which is very disappointing. Moving on to the train, well, we only get one train, the Class 323. At the time, this was the second appearance of this train, having previously been on the Cross City add-on. But the 323 for Glossop was given the appropriate northern stuff, such as the interior and a slight cab change. It's alright for what it is, and for the sound set, it's alright. It does the job, and it's miles better than the original Train Sim Classic for sure. Fucking on my screen! But it's not the best sound set. The later phases are missing some of the whines. Actually, I think I'll just play a video of one I took instead to demonstrate. You can draw your own conclusion from this. I've already said my piece on it. Otherwise, the timetable itself is what you'd expect from a UK commuter line. It's a half-hourly timetable in each direction, although due to the reversal at Glossop, they're split into two parts to facilitate that. But there's not much gameplay aside for the commuter runs. There are AI Class 158s, AI Freight and AI 323s at Manchester, as well as a few freight runs along the line that you can play, but not much else. Manchester itself, again, feels very empty just seeing 323s and the occasional 158 and freight as a result. I will shout out two scenarios, however. Glossop Line and On Guard for both having interesting concepts. But yeah, that's it for Glossop. What do I think? Well, it's a nice little commuter line with a decent train and decent scenery and decent stations. Fuck me, I've said decent so many times. And for $19.99, it is a fair deal for what you get. I would have a problem if it was $24.99, and definitely if it was $29.99. But there's not much else to do aside from commuter runs and freight if you have other DLC. Do I recommend it? Only if you have an interest in doing commuter runs, since this route only caters to that. Or if you want a quiet and complete route, then this one is definitely for you. Otherwise, this is Blue, and that's it from me. I don't know what video I'll do next, so anticipate another long wait. Goodbye!